We love music. You are locked into Six Towns Radio.
Chills Bar, Beersley, sponsors of Port Vale content on Six Towns Radio.
Tom Pope, Northampton game last week. You knew it was going to be a bit of a battle, same as Oxford. You know, the team's lower down the league, and they're still going to bring a full game plan.
Well, of course they do. I think you can't afford to stand and think that you've got a divine right to win any game. I think it's just because of the start we've had that people start to be expectant on you winning games, and I think that's something that we need to try and cut out. I think at the start of the season, fans were optimistic about the squad. You know, they were going into games hoping we could do things, hoping we could get 3 points, hoping we could play well. And we've done all that, and I think we've got ourselves in a good position. And now it's gone from optimistic and hoping we can do things to expecting you to win games. And although it's only a small bit, I think that's something we don't want to be at, because I think when fans become expectant, that's when negativity creeps in when you're not winning.
Yeah.
And that's basically the likes of Man United, the Man Cities of this world. Their fans become expectant because they're such a big club that they expect win every game, and we can't be like that. And obviously, you know, we've won at Fleetwood, we've won at Bradford, and battered Rotherham at home, and everybody's, you know, very optimistic and become expectant. And then you go places like Burton and Northampton, and people go, "Oh, it's going to be another win for us. They're down there." That anything like that, you know, as a club, you're going to go through good and bad spells, and you know, obviously the sending off turned the game on Saturday, as well as playing against probably the biggest wind I've played against in professional football. So, you know, it's one of them games where you get to half time, if you're getting at 1-0, you know, you can regroup and come out second half. And obviously we got a sending off, went down to 2-0, and it was always going to leave us a mountain climb.
Yeah, you have come back in other games, but you know, like I say, it's a marathon, not a sprint. The season is. It's a long way still to go. You know, you haven't even reached Christmas yet. People look at statistics and look at your form at the moment, but you know, you're going to lose games. There's teams that on the day are going to beat you. You mentioned John McCombe there. He's a gentle giant, isn't he? No malice in that tackle whatsoever. I watched it back now, and we all want to wish Alex Nichols all the best, you know, with the injury and everything. So, reported straight away, he was gutted about it, but you know, you spoke to him now since. How's he feeling?
I think, you know, at the time and over the last couple of days, I'm sure he's, you know, been downbeat. I know on the buzz he didn't speak to anybody, and he was down the front and he was gutted. It's never a nice thing seeing somebody in that much pain and seeing the leg like that when, you know, you haven't meant it. I think if you're a nasty person, or you know, you've got no emotion, then I think something like that wouldn't affect you. You'd probably just run off and get on with it. But like I say, John's one of the nicest lads you'd ever meet, and it obviously hit him hard. But I think now you've just got to try and get round him and just, you know, concentrate on training, take his mind off it, and try to get a smile back on his face, really.
Yeah, because like, he's suspended, of course, now, so it gives a chance with the lads coming back as well from suspension. And you've got Davies, who's available now from injury, so you know, you've got a few more options in defence. Gazzo was on last week. There's a great number in the squad, we know that because of admin, but there's players who will come in and do a job, isn't there?
Well, the gaffer said to us at the start of the season, you know, we've only got a 20-man squad and everybody's going to be needed. And obviously after 10 games we're flying. I think we only changed the side once or twice in the first 10 games, and everybody's like, well, it isn't everybody, I'm not playing, blah blah blah. But you know, it only takes a couple of injuries and a suspension and what have you, and next thing you know, you're down to bare bones. I mean, I'm not sure how many exactly we've got, but I don't think we'll be able to name 7 subs on Saturday, to be honest, unless I'm mistaken. So that's how easy it changes. You know, you've gone from a side that are second in the league, winning games of football, everybody's free and available, to suspensions, injuries and everything else, and suddenly you're down to bare bones. That's how quickly it changes. So, but we've got the quality in the squad to deal with it. Like I say, you got young Joe, you know, who did brilliant. Him and Kingsley both on Saturday, second half, was superb for us. Clayton's obviously coming back. So I think we'll be all right. We're not going to use that as an excuse on Saturday.
Yeah.
We've got to turn round and put a performance in and hopefully be in the pot for the next round.
Yeah, the cup game is important, especially if you can get a bigger team in a later round. It's good for the fans, it's good for the players to play against high opposition. But I suppose a player you won't get back in a league game as well. Luckily, you've got one of them on Tuesday against Rochdale to address that balance, because Cheltenham have creeped up a little bit behind. I think they're 2 points behind now. Gillingham have opened a little bit of a gap, but it's only a few points, isn't it?
Well, I think at this stage, I think even the most optimistic of Vale fans would have probably been happy with, in and around the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So for us to be in second place, is really a great achievement for us. But it's quite as easy to be second from top than it is second from bottom. That's how quickly it spans around. And like the gaffers told us, it's about getting the points on the board as quickly and because you're obviously going to go through a spell where things aren't going to go your way, and luckily for us, we built up a decent gap over the third and fourth, and even when we haven't won the last two games, we'd still done enough in the first few to stay in the second place. So we've had a couple of poor results, but obviously under the circumstances, there wasn't a lot else we could do on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously against the wind and 10 men, it's always going to be a difficult and uphill task, but you just put it down to one of them days where nothing went right for you, move on to Rochdale, and hopefully everything will go right for us there.
Yeah, that should be a good home turnout as well, Rochdale. Just one more thing on the cup game. Forest Green are doing okay in the conference. They're going to be no more because no walkover, are they?
No, I think last year against Grimsby, I said, prove her.
Mm-hmm.
Forest Green this year are probably a better better team than Grimsby were last year. So, we can't sit there and think, we're playing a team from a league below, we're going to win the game, because that's not how it works. And last year, like I say, prove her. Mm-hmm. And I think there's probably no club cup in the world where you see greater upsets and giant killings than the FA Cup. So there's going to be a few upsets over the weekend, there's no doubt about that, but like I say, hopefully we can still be in the pot on Sunday and getting there towards the third round.
Mm-hmm. Would it be good to play one of your ex-teams, or is that something that doesn't even enter your head?
It's not something that really, obviously you want quite an easy route to the third round, and then the third round you want the big teams. I think, us going to a decent League One side at this stage, probably wouldn't be ideal for getting to a third round, although we'll fancy his chances.
You say that, you beat Tranmere.
Yeah, although we fancy his chances, I think you'd take non-league sides over decent League One,
mm-hmm.
Any day of the week. And like I say, once you get to the third round, that's when you want one of the big guns. Yeah,
so you've got a bit of stubble today. It's the start of Movember. You're not doing it, because I know a couple of players doing it. Dodds is doing it, and I think Lofty's doing it.
Well, last year we started on it, and I think everybody just gave up in the end. So, I don't mind. I'll be happy to do it, but I don't think my missus would be happy about it. But, I'll see. I haven't really spoke to the lads yet. I'm sure, after the few of them doing it, I'll just tag along with them.
That'd be good. It was Halloween as well this week. If all the players went out trick or treating, who do you think made the most money?
Oh, Chris Shuker, without a doubt. He's just missing the bolt out of his neck to be Frankenstein, I think. He ain't got much going for him, the lad, I'll be honest. But he's a top man. He's a top man. And he's got the gift of the gab to get money and sweets out of it as well. So he ain't just got the looks, he's got the old package for being a decent trick-or-treater, I think.
Brilliant stuff, Sam. Cheers for that, mate.
Cheers.
Broadcasting to Stoke-on-Trent and the world. This is Six Towns Radio.